The national president of the Independent Petroleum Association of Nigeria, IPMAN, Elder Chinedu Okoronkwo, said the association is currently considering importing petrol from the world market following the latest liberalization of foreign exchange rates by the Central Bank of Nigeria. Prevalence of multiple foreign exchange rates and other problems had prevented the marketers from importing the product, forcing them to depend on the NNPC Limited for domestic supplies. It will be recalled that the chairman of Depots and Petroleum Products Marketers Association of Nigeria, Dame Winifred Akpani, who led stakeholders to visit President Bola Tinubu, had tasked him to adopt measures capable of ending the fuel crisis while achieving stability in Nigeria's downstream sector. According to her, the government should revise the clause in the PIA 2021, which restricts importation to only companies with active local refining licenses and proven track records of international crude oil and petroleum products trading. And still on oil, the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries, OPEC, yesterday disclosed that Nigeria's oil output increased by 15.6% to 1.3 million barrels per day in May from 1.1 million barrels per day recorded in the preceding month of April 2023. The organization disclosed this in its June 2023 monthly oil market report made available to newsmen. With the latest record, Nigeria has beaten Angola, whose output stood at 1.1 million barrels per day, to become Africa's highest producer, while Equatorial Guinea becomes the least with 56,000 barrels per day. Similarly, in another report, the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission, NUPRC, disclosed that Nigeria's oil production, including condensate, grew by 14.4% in May to average 1.4 million barrels per day during the period. The production figures include crude oil, blended condensate, and unblended condensate. However, the date revealed that the country continues to lag significantly behind the 1.8 million daily production quota assigned to it by the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries and the 1.69 million barrels per day benchmark for the 2023 federal government's budget. Oil production has been hampered by persistent insecurity, pipeline vandalism, and oil theft in the Niger Delta region. Revenue from the value-added tax and company income tax (CIT) fell quarter-on-quarter by 18.6% to 1.18 trillion naira in the first quarter of 2023 from 1.45 trillion naira in the fourth quarter of 2022. Thus, this was disclosed by the National Bureau of Statistics in its VAT report for first quarter of 2023, which showed that VAT revenue stood at 709.59 billion naira, rising quarter-on-quarter by 1.75% from 697.38 billion naira in fourth quarter of 2022. On a QoQ basis, the activities of households as employers on differentiated goods and services producing activities of households for own use recorded the highest growth rate with 349.86%, followed by construction with 95.64%. However, on a year-on-year basis, VAT collections in the first quarter of 2023 increased by 20.6% from the first quarter of 2022. And the Naira yesterday lost almost half of its value in the official market as the exchange rate in the investors and exporters window rose to 664 naira 4 kobo per dollar from 471 naira 67 per dollar on Tuesday. This comes as the Central Bank of Nigeria announced measures to liberalize the market, including the elimination of multiple exchange rates and freedom for banks to buy and sell foreign exchange at any rate based on a willing buyer and willing seller arrangement. Director, Financial Markets, Dr. Angela Siria Jembi, made the announcement in a statement titled Operational Changes to the Foreign Exchange Market. Data from the FMDQ showed that the I&E window exchange rate closed yesterday at naira per dollar, up from 471.67 per dollar on Tuesday. On the contrary, the naira appreciated by 13 naira in the parallel market as the exchange rate in the market dropped to 755 naira per dollar from 768 naira per dollar on Tuesday. And Nigeria's public debt increased from 73 trillion naira to 82 trillion naira after the unification of the naira. Speaking on iBrandTV News, head fixed income market Chapel Hill Denham Limited, Oladipo Ajayi, discussing the increase and its implication. We bring you the report.
This is just mere translation of debt from dollars to naira. And it would also be right, if you actually want to judge very well, we have to also look at what is our expected revenue in dollars and also convert at the prevailing rate so as to actually be able to have a holistic view on the two data. This is simply just translation of currency, because at the same time, if you decide to actually convert Nigeria current debt status to maybe dollar, now you would notice that it would have dropped significantly from where it used to be. So this does not have much impact, because it's just merely the fact that you have just translated your devalue your currency, and as a result of that, that's actually pushed your total debt north. At the same time, you also look at it from the perspective that you also generate revenue in dollars, which will also be translated in the same manner. For example, if you look at this year's budget, we have a benchmark rate of around 470. If I'm actually very correct around that. But now that the market has been opened, there's every tendency that that will actually be adjusted as well.
And up ahead, new telcos hope to reach 27 million Nigerians without telecom access. These and more stories after this commercial break. Stay with us.